Texas bound. We stopped over in Santa Fe. Got to be in the morning, just about halfway. Did you know it was the hottest part of the day?
You guys know I've been a fan of the Law folder from Law Tactical for a long time. I did run it on my bear gun, the Geisley Green machine. I've got it on another 10.3 inch Mark 18-ish Mod 3. I don't know what you call this thing. It's the URGI upper. I absolutely love the Law folder from Law Tactical, and I've been friendly with them for a long time. On Instagram, they seem to like my content. We've been talking a lot. And then after the bear incident with this gun, they sent me 2 of their Eric bolt carrier groups, which are really cool. That's not what this video is about. You can go check out my other content on that. But what that allows you to do is put their bolt carrier group in, and you can fire this now in the folded position, which is very cool. So anyway, I was at SHOT Show. I got to meet them in person. They were very hospitable, and we had a great conversation. And they gave me one of their new Gen S folders, which I'm really excited about. Spoiler alert, it's amazing because it is lighter, it is stronger, and it is slimmer. So you cannot go wrong with this thing. It's an improvement in every way, in my opinion. And I've already got it installed. I put it on my 9-inch 300 Blackout. I have loved this 300 Blackout. I think 300 Blackout is a great platform for a Law folder because as a civilian, you want concealability and you want something small that can fit in a bag, and this is a real fighting rifle that will just slip into a bag. So we're gonna dive into it, really go over some of the intricacies of what makes this lighter, slimmer, and stronger. So one of the first things I noticed right away was the weight savings. It is 12.5% lighter than the old version. So this is the new version down here for you guys. This is the old version, and the weight savings is noticeable, which is really great. I really appreciate that. These things are rather heavy. They do affect the balance of your gun. Not the end of the world because, you know, you put a light, an optic, a laser, silencer, all those things on the front of your gun. It gets a little front heavy, so it's not the end of the world, but I do really appreciate the weight savings on the Gen S. Next, I noticed that they really slimmed down a lot of these points here. On the old one, I would rub my knuckles on this, and this is much slimmer and much more ergonomic right away. Same idea on this side. You can see that they got rid of a lot of material right here. It's up here. This is big and bulky, and it's completely gone. They replaced it with a plate there, which is really nice. And you can see it's the same thing. I'm not bumping my thumb knuckle on that bump up there. So I don't know if you guys can see that, but this, I would bump into that with the Gen 1 and the Gen S here. You don't get that. And so it's more comfortable, and that's also partly where they get the weight savings. Another area that it's stronger is the catch here. This is beefier. That may be a little hard for you guys to see the difference on camera, but this is definitely more sturdy. It's built out a little bit better. It's thicker, and that could be a potential failure point. I've never had a problem with that. I have thousands of rounds through both this Mark 18-ish and my Geisley, no problems whatsoever. However, it is nice that the potential failure point was beefed up. I really like that. They did keep the QD slot on the bottom here, and so I know I don't use that because, as you can see, it interferes with my hand position on the gun, so I don't use that, but they did keep it. The way that I get around that is I actually run it just a QD plate on the back here like you would normally, just a BCM QD plate. There's lots of QD plate manufacturers out there. I prefer that. As you can see, that puts the sling out of my way, but they did keep that, so if that's a feature you liked and you used it, good for you, and they kept that. Like I said, I have thousands and thousands of rounds on both of these. They have run flawlessly for me. But I do get questions of, okay, so why would you want a folder on your AR-15 when there's a lot of platforms that already fold out there, you know, like the SIG MCX, or you could just go get an AK, or you know, anything else on the market that folds. I think the reason for that is parts compatibility. You want something that parts are going to be widely available, and I think that's a real value that people overlook. So obviously your parts compatibility, you may want something that has this type of gas system with the buffer tube on it, and that allows you to keep it. So that's one thing. Another thing is cost. A lot of those guns that do fold, like the SIG MCX line, they're expensive, and this is a cheaper option for you to just allow you to fold this thing up. And then foldy guns, like I said, they are incredible for civilians because discretion is important as a civilian. So just keep that in mind. But go pick up the new Law folder from Law Tactical, the Gen S. You can just do stuff.